Welcome back to Bounty Hunter Banter for your regular dose of beer and pop culture. Joining me today, as always, is Chris, and Dan's hanging around somewhere.
He's somewhere.
We've also got Tom Pigott from, where are we now?
Bank
Uncle
Hotel.
Hops,
Uncle
the
Hops.
Bank Hotel, and Anton, one of the owners from
Stockade.
Sorry, it's been a long morning.
Great to be here, guys.
All right, so
So we've got Anton on at the start for probably the first 15 minutes while Dan gets himself smashed before he jumps on. So Anton's going to take us through the beers we'll be trying today, because Stockade have done a huge tap takeover.
7 taps. I think you got 7 taps on here.
Lucky us.
Or 6 and a hand pump.
Thank you.
6 and a hand pump.
Thank you, Tom.
No worries.
Nice. Well, you want to take us through the beers that you got on today, man?
Yeah, sounds great. We're a brewery in southwest Sydney based. We're just about to open up a barrel room in the inner west, and founded by myself and 3 of my brothers. And really the kind of concept for the brewery for us is just to demonstrate our beer journey, really. Just to invite people to come along, and as we're drinking and loving crazy stuff, we'll be making crazy stuff.
Crazy beer. Yeah, awesome.
When we want to break from crazy beer to make some stuff which is a little more sessionable, that's the stuff we'll come out with. So you kind of, it's funny because you do see really crazy beers, and then the week after it kind of like, oh my god, we can't do that anymore. So we'll kind of come out with something a little more reasonable. But
I tend to like the crazy stuff more often than the sessionable stuff.
As you go through that journey, everyone starts off kind of boring in the world of craft beer, and then you kind of become a junkie for all that stuff. So yeah, we don't have any shortage of that in the pipeline.
Yeah, cool.
So the beers we have today that we're going to have a chat about. The first one is Odin's Raven.
Nice.
Which is a Juniper Witbier, a collaboration beer that we did with Molyneux, which is a new venue just opened up over in Redfern. And the concept of that, we kind of when we make beers, it's generally a process where whoever's involved in the creative, and that can be a salesperson, that can be a brewer, that can be us, that can be a venue partner or what have you. We sit down and we just basically rap on an idea. And we started off with an idea to make a Nordic style sati. It's an S.H.I.E.L.D. And the more we looked into it, it was universally panned as a horrible idea.
What's a sati?
It's got juniper branches in it, so it's kind of like a proto beer without hops, and they use those juniper branches to bitter the beer, and it was just considered. All the reviews we heard about it were so bad that we thought, okay, we'll just try and steer the conversation away from the terrible. And but we still wanted to kind of that juniper is something that you see a lot of, but it's a lot of people don't get a lot of it in their beer. So we went and we sourced some fresh juniper berries. And then we partnered, like I said, with Molyneux, and we kind of talked about this because they wanted something that was kind of Nordic themed, because it's a Viking themed restaurant.
Yeah,
and
with a name like Molyneux.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it's
right.
a really cool place, actually. And we got together, and the idea of Odin's Raven came about. We like kind of wit beers. The wit beer is a bit of a brewer's favourite. It's dry. I mean, like it's got a lot of good things going for it. So we pulled together, and juniper berries sound like a really good idea. Everything kind of sounds like a good idea when you're talking about it with someone and you're all excited and you've been drinking with your brewers and like, yeah, let's do a juniper berry. Oh, that's great. We'll get some juniper berries. Finding juniper berries is not very easy, and then having to work with them is quite challenging, and the results are not very predictable. So we ended up going through I remember there was a night where I had my head brewer who'd been working already for, my second in charge brewer working for Luigi, he was working for like 12 hours, and we weren't happy with the amount of juniper that was in the beer, so we got another double up of these berries. We made this giant juniper teapot almost in the middle of the brewery floor with some hot water and juniper berries. And in the end, the result was great. We're happy with it. It's amazing. It's got the characters we're looking for. You can definitely get that pininess on the nose, and that's Odin's Raven.
The artwork is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it is.
We partnered with a graffiti artist for that one. It's great. I mean, we've got. Our art process is we have guys we go to, like for example this Rare Ink bottle opener. That's a local tattoo joint here in Newtown. But
you can tell that as well. It's got a real tattoo flair.
Yeah,
that's another red label as well.
LDF tattoos did that for us. But we sometimes go directly just to people, like the Mountie, for example, which we'll talk about a little later. I mean, we went directly to an artist that we really love. But other times we kind of just put it out there and say, hey guys, we're doing this. Who wants to have a crack at it? And we get unpredictable results. So it's good to kind of get that process going.
Cool.
Hop Splicer was a beautiful mistake, is the way I'll describe it.
Awesome.
We kind of we started to brew a golden ale, and it turned out that we kind of made an error on our production calculations because we just didn't need it. And so the brewer, it got translated to the brewer after he'd already mashed it in. It's sitting in the tank, and he's like, "Hey man, I got this golden ale base. And I had been talking to him because we do a lot of beer overseas, and in Southeast Asia we sell some beers. We're talking about like making like a session ale which had some real kind of fruity notes, and we really love working with grapefruit. We had a beer last year called Mysterio, which did really well.
Yeah, another really mad label as well, sort of like Rogue's Gallery. Mysterio from Spiderman. Sick label.
Dude, super close to the Spiderman Mysterio.
Like really,
like
really,
when I
like worryingly so.
uber close. Yeah.
Like when you write the brief of something, you probably should check it before it goes to print, because when I received it, I was like, guys, this is the label of Mysterio.
Marvel's coming after us, bro.
No, it's already, we've already sold the beer. It's finished. That's good. No, they're not coming after us today. Anyway, so Hop Splicer, we had a golden ale. I'd rapped with our brewer about doing a beer which was super tropical and fruity, and that grapefruit we love working with. So, it was all about, can we use that? And he said, hey, that idea you've been talking about, I've got a golden ale. Do you want to do it? And I was like, it's kind of like a summer beer, and it's like end of May. And he's like, look, I've got the beer, it's ready to go. I've got the grapefruit. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So we ended up coming out with a limited keg release for Hop Splicer, and if we see that it works over the next couple of months, we might come out with some bottles and stuff over summer. But we like it. And this was an in-house label. Because it was done so quickly, I was like, like that Fruit Ninja game.
Fruit Ninja, yeah.
Dude, my kids love that shit. So I was like, let's get into it. Yeah, so not just for 4-year-olds.
No, just really tall 4-year-olds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I love that Fruit Ninja. When you make that slice, let's do like, grapefruit on the outside, hop on the outside. Hop Splicer was a name that we wrapped on after thinking about a couple of ideas. And that was literally like a 1.5 day job between beginning to end. And we're just lucky because I got 2 guys in the office who were pretty artistic, because I could never have pulled it off.
It's cool.
8-Bit is one of our first beers that we put together. So we have 4 beers we always make, and then the rest of our beers we just come out with generally once a month.
Yeah, it's a go-to for me as well, the 8-Bit.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. We we love super fruity IPAs. I mean, that's just like, it's just the bedrock of my beer drinking. Like super fruity IPAs. And when I'm kind of like judging a brewery on,
I'm gonna put my jumper on.
How are things going with theirs these days? I always kind of grab the IPA and say how's it going? Because to be honest, like, it is a beer that a lot of people make, but it's a beer that it does take a bit of finesse to make it well.
Yeah.
And
certainly to stand out as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's no shortage of competition in the IPA world.
Well, 8-Bit certainly stands out.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm drinking it right now. So yeah, we pulled it together, and we were kind of, the guys who I work with. I mean, we all played Double Dragon and Super Mario Brothers and all the kind of old school games, and we wanted to make a beer that was kind of a throwback to that, and we kind of, our original IPA was 6.8%, so we started to just wrapping on the kind of 8-bit, 4-bit, 64-bit thing, and this guy came about, and Sasha, who's our marketing guy, was like, hey, how about we throw a hop guy in there to be like a superhero, retro video game hop dude. And then that kind of just evolved into us throwing a brief out there onto the social media channel saying, hey, he's got some interesting art for this, and we came back with 8-bit, which has been
It's cool that you do that as well, sort of involve the community and developing art and stuff like that. That's pretty mad.
Well, it's actually, it's a requirement for us because, if you go down the road, sometimes, like I said, we got saying LDF was just like they just pull a rabbit out of the hat. We didn't even ask for that. Like, when our brief was totally different to what we received, but we just loved it so much that, hey, we want to do this. But with regards to 8-bit and other guys that we work with on the kind of broader basis, like, we put a brief out there and we say, hey, can it work? And the cool part is that, you look at a wall of like 20 ideas and you couldn't have thought about it, because, you guys are super creative and your labels are amazing too.
Yeah, cheers, man.
But for us, like, we like, we've actually been told that some of our art's kind of all over the place, like tattoo art, 8-bit retro art. Like, we kind of got to streamline it, I guess, at some stage. But for now, we're just having fun and exploring that. And we feel like the beer is a very interesting canvas. You can do what you want. Like, it's an adult product.
It's a fun randomness as well, though, to not know what you're going to do or what you're going to bring out next.
I think so.
In terms of art, especially, because I think it really speaks to the different styles of beer as well, because they are different styles of beer. So having the artwork reflect that as well is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a fun part of what we do. So 8-bit is like our kind of number one selling beer at the moment. We love it. We drink it all the time. It's hoppy and fruity and all the things that we like IPAs
Delicious.
to be. Thank you. The rare ink, we've touched on already. We kind of, like, when it comes to dark beers, there's a lot of people go into winter, and if you're coming off of quite a big beer, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm looking for something that's kind of a little more roasty, a little bit darker, but not going to blow my head off.
Yeah.
And that's how the conversation of rare ink kind of started around.
Yeah, cool.
And we, we wanted something to bring out there. We kind of wanted a dark beer. I think it was one of our first kind of, rational dark beers after our barrel-aged Imperial Stouts, that kind of stuff, probably off a hangover. We were talking about it. And we wanted something that was, easy to drink, kind of like a session stout. And then the idea of Rare Ink was born from a recipe. And then on the kind of name of the beer, we like the whole tattoo thing. We think the kind of ink and dark beers, that was a cool wrap.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just bandied around ideas until we found something we liked, and it was Rare Ink. We said, hey, why don't we partner with the tattoo artist? And we reached out to LDF, and they were like, yeah, let's get involved, and they made a great label for us. So
cool.
Awesome. Ah, sweet.
And it does look awesome. Just to interrupt you for a sec before you jump into the next beer. So we had a bit of technical difficulties because I'm a fucking idiot, basically.
Yeah, cool.
So we were broadcasting live from the start on my personal account, not the Banter account. So we've switched over now. So for anyone just joining us, we're joined. Well, you can see Chris on the live stream as well. But I've also got Tom Pigott from Uncle Hops, and I've got Anton, one of the owners from Stockade Brewing.
We're not fucking amateur, are we?
Oh, well, yes, we fucking are. We're a garage project podcast, motherfucker.
No, cool.
Sorry, Anton, to cut you off, mate.
No worries. I mean, you guys are, as we're going along, the people who are just joining us now, I mean, they're getting us a couple of IPAs in, so sure. It was cleaner in the beginning of the show.
I think also one of the best things about the Rare Ink for us as a venue is a lot of people come in and they're like, what have you got on? And when we have a lot of dark beers on tap, they're scared of them, especially if they're just getting into their kind of craft drinking and they're starting to explore beer more. To have something that's dark and sessionable and not blowing your head off, like you said, is a great way to introduce them. And then they come back, they're like, that was amazing. Now I like dark
Try
beer.
the next one.
Like,
Yeah.
So like, it's something like that. It's easy
a
to
doorway,
convert.
a gateway drug, basically, into the dark.
Pretty much.
4.4% as well. So
it's very sessionable for a dark.
It isn't very mean at all.
I've got to say, that's me, by the way. So 6 months ago, I wouldn't have gone anywhere near a dark, because to me, in my mind, a dark beer was nitrogen-based fucking Guinness off a tap, and you got to wait half an hour for that shit to settle. It's not my cup of tea, but certainly into the darks now.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I think when you first pour a schooner of dark beer, a lot of people's immediate reaction is it's got to be super heavy and super bitter.
Yeah, it's like syrupy.
But the reality is, I mean, like the 8 beer I'm drinking right now is so much more of a beer on how bitter it is and how heavy it is compared to the Rare Ink. I mean, and that whole spectrum, and this kind of dovetails into the next conversation about the next beer we have, which is the Mountie. The original recipe for this beer, I was in Germany, and I was at an equipment vendor, and we were looking to buy some tanks or some crazy filter that my brother was making me go and get. And I was like, okay, cool. I was in this office, and they had this little trial brewery there. It's actually a really cool little German equipment maker, and they had this like 11% Imperial Stout they just brought out at lunch. Oh, here's a whole bunch of beers we've made over the last couple of months. And I was drinking this Imperial Stout, and I was like, wow, this is a few years ago, and I was like, wow, that is like really easy to drink. And I'm like,
for an 11%.
11%, I mean, that is fucking toxic, I mean.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and I was like, this is just amazing. I was like, I'd never had anything that had been so smooth. And like, you look at it, and you think of 11% beer, you think of a stout, and you think of something that you'd have to like spoon into yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
But it was like syrupy and chocolatey, and I was like, wow, it was really awesome. So I came back to Australia, and I talked to our head brewer, and I said, hey, I just had this amazing Imperial Stout. Like, what's the biggest Imperial Stout you've ever brewed? And he's like, oh, maybe like 10%. I was like, well, how big do you think we can brew it and still make it drinkable and great and all those things? And he said, oh, well, yeast gets a bit lazy if you kind of make it too challenging, so I reckon maybe 12. And I was like, that's a nice round figure. Let's have a gun for that. And so we made an Imperial Stout, and that Imperial Stout was just a straight up Imperial Stout, and it was just loved by us, our brewers, our team was like, wow, great Imperial Stout. And at the time, I kind of I'd been in the States a few months earlier, and I'd been drinking barrel beers. And I was like, hey, fucking barrel beers, let's have a crack at that. We have no idea what we're doing. We buy some barrels from Lark in Tasmania, and we throw a bunch of that Imperial Stout that we made that first time into like whiskey barrels. So 2 years later, we come out with, we find these barrels in the brewery, and my brother's like, "Don't touch those barrels. They're probably poisonous." And I'm like, and then my sales team's like, "Hey, we got these barrels. Everyone loves barrel beers." So we threw together Old Money, which was our barrel release for Christmas, and that was a beer which people seemed to like a lot, and picked up a couple of percent. I got it being like 15%. And that same Imperial Stout recipe, we're talking about Gabs. And well, what are we going to do, and what do we like about beers? And that's how the wrap on, hey, what about that Imperial Stout recipe that was so good? What if we do something that's kind of like an interesting stout variant? and we talked about vanilla or what would go with such a big bold beer, and we thought, what about if we do like a kind of a maple syrup stout?
Maple syrup.
Yeah, which not a lot of people do because maple syrup is really hard to work with. And then we ended up getting the idea together. Immediately for me it had to be the naked Mountie dude, because Mounties are funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're cops, but they're not like real cops. You know what I mean? Like,
I always think of Super Troopers whenever I think Canada
I know
anything.
exactly.
It's Super Troopers or it's Me, Myself, and Irene. I don't know if you ever saw
No,
that.
I did.
Yeah,
I mean, look, it's kind of rude to be insulting the
It
mounted
is, it
police
is.
on Canada Day.
We don't mean any offence whatsoever. Any Canadians
We're
out
not
there.
looking for any shakedowns in
Yeah.
Toronto, by the way. But yeah, like we.
Well, I've named the episode Canadian A, so we'll sort of maximise that.
Awesome.
Well, that
Get
was,
right
it,
into
was it Due South? Remember that movie back in that series back in the day on TV? Due South.
I heard
It
of
rings
it.
a bell.
Oh,
the only Canadian-based movie I remember is North.
is that Northern Exposure?
Northern Exposure.
Exposure.
Yes,
Yeah,
the Mountie.
yeah.
He had his Greer's his dog, and he comes down to solve crimes. Yes, I was like pretty happy about making him naked Mountie.
Yeah,
and we gave it to a really great cartoonist, actually, Johannes Leek, who is son of the late Bill Leek, actually, and he pulled together a great label for us.
Dan.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but all I heard was Chris say Northern Exposure.
Northern
All I
Exposure.
remember from Northern Exposure is Ed.
Ed.
Remember Ed? He was the Native American stoner dude. Wasn't he? He was the long-haired one that used to hang around the bar. And
I never watched Northern Exposure.
It was actually quite a funny show for it, so it was pretty good.
I'm not surprised Chris doesn't remember though.
Anyway,
Well, he had the dude from Flash in it.
The dude from Flash. Thank you for cutting
the
it down.
HR.
The original Flash.
Oh, right.
No, not the original.
The
Okay.
CW
HR
series.
was is that Northern Exposure? Am I getting shit fucked up? It's neither here nor there, but either way.
I only just watched the original Flash recently. That is the Flash Gordon. That is a hectic movie.
hang on.
Oh, Flash Gordon
Flash
the movie,
Gordon?
the
Oh, yeah.
sci-fi.
Or the original Flash. The Flash with the red suit.
I'm talking about the guy who goes to that weird...
The footballer.
With the Queen music in the background.
Yeah, the Queen
Yeah,
music
yeah,
background.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah,
That's a classic movie.
I was like, wow. Someone said, watch this movie. And I was watching it for the first 10 minutes, like, what the fuck is this?
It's like taking LSD without dropping.
Exactly. So yeah, we pulled together the Mountie and we put it up at Gabs, and we were really lucky. People liked it.
Did
and
well.
Yeah.
Fucking did awesome.
Look, our team did a great job on that. Kane, who's here today, he put on a Mountie outfit. And
Yeah, we saw him.
Yeah, everyone
we saw
did.
him running around.
It was probably the highlight. That was beautiful.
I saw some CCTV footage. Like it was kind of like someone sent it through on the social to us, like of him skulking around after. It was like a kind of like a grainy Bigfoot photo. That was, big props to Kane for helping us out, and we ended up taking home like a People's Choice Award, which is
That's
is
cool,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations, it was well
thank
deserved.
you.
I look forward to drinking a whole heap of them today. But speaking of today as well, there's a bunch of stuff going on here at Bank.
And Dan's attempting sign language,
Yeah,
but
I
no
don't-
one understands
I don't know
it.
what
So
Dan's
There's plenty
doing.
of beer.
yeah, no,
plenty
there's
of
beer
beer.
here.
Are we drinking them now? I don't know. Fucking leave them out. While Pete's handing out booze, just have a chat with Tom and see what's going on here. There's men.
There's shitloads going on
Oh,
here.
Yeah, it's a busy
bands
day for
rocked
us,
up.
yeah.
There's it's quite exciting actually.
So today is Canada Day, which is their national holiday, which is why we got the guys from Stockade down with the Mountie, the re-release, which we were excited about. We were happy to and really chuffed to get in and on tap. So we've got 6 beers on tap and then 1 on the hand pump.
Yeah.
And then we've got as well the Newtown record fair is downstairs, and they're something we do now every month. So they just come in, they've got guys selling records, trading records. It's like a whole community down
It's
there.
like a swap meet
Yeah,
type
pretty
deal
much.
down
Yeah,
there.
it's really cool.
Oh, rad! I had no idea.
So they're on today. They do the first Saturday of every month. They're coming down now.
Yeah, right.
And then other than that, we're just I think most of the staff here today are hobbling around after yesterday, end of financial year. So everyone was
Big
in
night
last night. Big night last night. So we're all feeling it
I
today.
would never have put end of financial year down as a big drinking night, to be honest.
Yeah, I was surprised as well.
I mean, you
Like-
either close a shitload of sales at the last second or you don't, and I suppose either way you'd be drinking. So
Yeah, you're either
makes
celebrating
sense.
or
I've just never
commiserating,
really
yeah.
thought about it that way.
I guess the party's only on until the auditors check the books. So get it
One
all in
last
there.
tax deduction, that's it.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and my 500 clients in the pub tonight.
Exactly.
Is the Hops Bar open all week?
So in here we're closed Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday through Friday we open at 5. Go through till whenever it's kind of still busy. Saturday and Sunday we're open from 12.
Because you guys have a ton of taps in here as well, which is quite good.
Yeah,
There's
we've
always
got
something different.
12 taps and a hand pump. I mean, I'd always like more. Love to have more taps.
We'd love you to have more taps.
Yeah, I think every brewer says that to me.
You can fit another bank in there, surely. Just throw the sink out of the way.
Yeah, no, we don't need 2 tills. We'll just get rid of one. And then we've got stuff going on all the time. So if we're trying to bi-monthly. We have we call it Witchcraft, and it's our 3-way brewers battles. So the next one we've got coming up, the beginning of August, will be a Northern Beaches one. So we've got
A 3-way in the Northern Beaches. That
3-way in the Northern
fun.
Beaches, yeah. So they're Wednesday, usually on a Wednesday night. We get 3 beers from 3 breweries, and it's a People's Choice winner.
Yeah, cool.
Which is a bit of fun. As you guys know, we did a kind of similar event for our May the 4th, our Star Wars party.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which is always a rip-roaring event. So I'm super stoked that just everyone got behind that as well.
It was heaps good. It was packed out as well.
It was
a great night, man.
Yeah. We've got a really good community that come in, and we've got our locals and our members of our part of the Bottle Lightning crew. They're always down here through the Timeout guys. Yeah. So they're always popping in for a beer, and yeah, we've just got a great local community around the Inner West, and the guys are always coming in. You just recognise so many faces. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, from a brewer's perspective, coming into you run an amazing tap list.
Yeah, cheers.
We can say we'd love to be all of it, but the reality is when you come in and you see so many great beers, it's funny because, everyone, I come in today and I'm like, oh, wow, I want to try the Midnight Barley Cowboy. And then, it's like, oh, no, I got to try the Stockade beer first. So you'll find me kind of meandering around the tap list, but I think that your stuff is, you've always got good stuff on, man. It's you guys do a good job of curating it.
Yeah, it's the way we work it is pretty much whatever I'm drinking and with the other managers we're drinking, if we're liking something, we'll go, yep, get it in. Like, that's the way we do it. And we just contact the guys, or people come in, drop us samples and be like, do you like this? And we're like, yes, and I want kegs of it. Get it into me.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's it's a good fun job. Like, it's coming up to, for me, actually I think it's this week. It's my 2 years here. So
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Happy anniversary.
Come from so we're part of a group called Solitaire, venues all over the thing, all over Sydney. So I worked at a couple now, but I spent most of my time originally in the Clock in Surrey Hills, but here I get access to a lot more beer, and I get to buy the beer, so I get to choose what goes on.
Yeah, right.
It's always
awesome.
good.
Yeah,
It's good to be the king.
yeah,
Cool. All right, so
We might let Anton go and eat, because I can see your burger getting cold, mate. It looks fucking amazing.
I'm about to peel a piece of bacon off it, actually.
I was thinking, how dignified can I look on camera eating a burger? Probably not very.
No, cool, man. Well,
Thank you very much for joining us,
we
mate.
look forward to mowing
cool,
through
man.
those
Do
now.
it.
So,
Churn.
no, cheers for
Really
joining
appreciate
us,
it.
man.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Now, you will notice on the live broadcast that we're hand-holding mics for a change.
Yeah.
So you'll have to excuse
Cheers,
us
man.
if we...
Oh, no, he's out.
No, we left him hanging.
fuck
it.
Dude,
Dude,
you
he's
saw
hungry.
that on camera, guys.
I
He's
did.
hungry. He's
Chris
hungry,
left
man.
hanging.
Food's more important. I can respect that. That's fine. And this is quite good. I don't know if Dan's gotten into
Can I have
this,
my beer, please?
but this is actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
really is.
It's like super light, heaps of sort of floral. It's
Did
really
you
nice.
talk about this yet?
No, we haven't.
No, we've been waiting for you,
Oh.
actually, out of respect for the Dan.
Dan's too loud.
Yep. I can hear
Oh.
myself way too loud.
Hopefully people could hear Anton. I've turned the volume right up on the live broadcast, but I can
That was Jared, our graphic designer, commenting from Perth. He's still watching, I think.
yeah, nice hang time, Chris Sinchak.
Fuck you, man.
He said it might have just been the Perth people.
It was a bit quiet for.
Yeah.
Just get the
Long way over.
Yeah, get the guys to run in the wheels faster to make the power go. Oh, sorry, that's New Zealand. Sorry.
That's
This
really
is
good.
Really good. Yeah.
Really good. XPA?
Remind us what it's called.
Wit.
No, that's
It's
the
Odin's Raven.
Odin's Raven. Raven.
Yeah.
Sorry, antibiotics plus beer equals fun.
Oh, you're a quarter down in the first class.
Yeah.
Pete's a designated driver as well, so this is going to be fun.
I think it's fantastic. It's a really nice light wit that Juniper comes through, and wits and the Belgian styles usually have more carbonation on them, and that's
just
got that more level of carbonation on it, which gives that
Yeah.
really good effervescence, and they're really fine bubbles too. So
Just the right amount of sour for me.
Yeah,
Just a little bit in it.
yeah, that's the yeast character to it. So yeah, no, that's really good, really nice and light. It's a 5.5% too. So yeah, good strength. So
Assuming Tom's already been through like all of these.
Well, when you're putting them on in the morning, you have to have a little taste just to make sure there's no
every
water
morning.
left in the line. You just got to make sure. So every
That
time.
was the first thing he said to us when we came in.
I offered you guys a beer, and you're like, no, not yet. And I was like, well, catch up.
We're battling flus and late nights working and jet lag for
And
the three
jet
of
lag,
us.
yeah.
So,
I'm starting to come back now. I'm quite good. I had hair of the dog. I had 8-bit when I came in here, so
It
I'm
helps.
feeling pretty good
Did
right
help.
now. 8-bit plus Red Bull.
Have you guys had a chance to go down to Molyneux yet and try it out, the restaurant?
No,
No.
You
unfortunately
guys
not.
have to get there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We went there, the management team. We went as a dinner. So there was about 6 or 7 of us. Went down. The meat just falls off.
I've seen the photos.
The food is so good.
That's the one where
right.
you can buy a full suckling pig to drop on the table, isn't
Yeah.
it? And I'm sure you
And
linked
you,
it.
I've heard about
you
that
drink,
place.
You drink out of proper horns as well.
Yeah,
They let you
no,
pick your own
definitely have to
knife.
get
The
It's
bread
so
sits
good.
on the table from the suckling pig fat at the end.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's a man's fucking restaurant. That one.
That's,
Do me a favour, Dan. Fucking move over so I can put my arm on the table. I'm holding this shit.
Okay.
All right, that's better.
Cool.
That's better. All right,
Next.
so who wants to kick off the first topic?
Tom? I'm not
put him
throwing you
on
on
the
the spot.
spot.
I'm not throwing
Yeah,
you
why
on the
not?
spot here. We've all
I'll
got.
happily do it. No.
Okay.
So next week, Spiderman comes out.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
Homecoming.
super excited. I stumbled. So funny because
If you're about to say you stumbled across a bootleg copy,
No.
okay.
straight to the IMAX theater for that one on
Yeah.
opening day. I was music on in the shower this morning and actually stumbled across on Spotify the Homecoming. They released one of the tracks from from the thing.
Yeah,
the
right.
score.
The score.
Yeah, cool.
So it's the same guy who scored for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, righto.
And he did Star Trek and everything. So.
Oh, okay.
But the interesting thing about it, which I thought you guys would be interested in, is didn't hear a terrible lot of any sort of Iron Man theme. So I come from a very musical family. My mum's a music teacher. Mum, if you're watching in Spain, hi. And
Hi, Tom's mum.
Hi, Tom's mum. She's a good one. I don't think she knows about this, so she's probably not watching.
This
That's
is
all
a little bit too much swearing for most parents. I was embarrassed to find out my parents listened to it.
right. But they have those set kind of themes for each hero.
Yeah.
And none of that because the Iron Man ones kind of put through. They've got a kind of hammer sound in it in all the movies.
Yep.
None of that really came through in this. It was the Homecoming suite. So it was I guess it was that you could hear a Vulture theme and you could hear the main Spidey
Yeah.
theme.
Okay.
Um,
So something that might play at the end credits.
Yeah.
After
I
the
reckon.
So I'm not sure how much Iron Man's actually going to be in it, which is
Well, I hope he's not in it too
I
much.
think it's just a little
It's
bit.
a
which is
Spider-Man
cool.
movie. We're
Yeah.
going to see Spidey.
Yeah, but Tony Stark will play a large part in it because he has
Yeah.
to.
Well, they gave him the
obviously,
suit.
he's- I think, yeah. But in terms of Iron Man, because I have seen a couple of clips here and there where he's sort of flying in and out, but I reckon if he's in it at all, it'll just be maybe during the main Vulture fight
It'll be 10-15 minutes max.
Hope so.
at the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch a good Spider-Man movie. I've been waiting a while now for. Spider-Man was the comic that I grew up buying.
Yeah.
Regularly. There's some X-Men and shit thrown in, but that was the one I religiously bought every week from Cressy Shops.
I was just in the comic book store a couple of days ago, and they had one copy of a graphic novel or a trade paperback of a whole bunch of Spider-Man, and I heard the guy say to his mate, "Oh, this is the one with the 9/11 issue in it," which I haven't read.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've
right.
seen the fold out of it of Spider-Man standing at the fallen down buildings, and I'd love to read it. And the
Yep.
bloody bloke walked out with it. It
Oh,
was the
bastard.
only copy in there. Felt mugging him out the front.
So
Grab a copy.
When you say you were in a comic book store, was this in Boston?
That was in Boston, yeah.
So how different are comic book stores in Boston to, say, Sydney?
It was funny. It was a comic book record store. So they had, you walked in, it was
Diversifying
Well,
your,
actually-
your revenues?
records, comic books and CDs, and then a clothing brand I'd never heard of. So
Okay.
the first sort of long room, which was probably the length of this bar, was mostly records and the pop vinyl little figures, and then a whole bunch of band T-shirts up on the wall.
Is that what you meant by vinyl?
Yeah.
Not record.
Yeah, records, vinyls.
Record
Yeah.
vinyl. Okay, then you said pop vinyls. That's cool. I'm just
Oh no,
Yeah, they're
sort
part of the
two,
comic
two
book
different.
side of it.
Yeah.
carry on.
There's
the next
lots of types of vinyl in that store.
I'm sure.
The next room only had a small, calling itself Newberry Comics, I think it was. It actually had a very small.
I've been to that store.
Yeah, it had a very small comic book
Yeah,
section.
it's really small.
Yeah.
I got my Chewbacca dressing gown from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they had
Is
a whole
it furry?
bunch.
Is it a
Yeah,
furry?
it's awesome. It's the best thing.
Is it
Have like a furry on the inside as well?
No, it's kind of like that Sherpa stuff on the inside, but it's like all like furry on the outside. Freaks out my dog as well, which is great. I wear it all the time.
Has it got a hood?
Yeah, got a hood, and then
Yeah,
like
nice.
Bandolier?
like the bandolier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
everything.
it's kind of like a onesie.
Kind of, yeah, but like your legs are sticking out.
I could totally see that though.
Yeah.
Chewbacca onesie.
Yeah, so I mean, it had a really. That was where I was getting it. It
Yeah.
had more records and CDs and other clothing than it did actual comic books, and it's
Yeah.
calling itself a comic book. I mean, it wasn't bad in any way, shape, or form. It was a cool. It
It's
was a
great.
cool
little
store.
Yeah, they're great little stores.
But yeah, actually very. And I couldn't find your copy of The Crow there. Sorry.
God damn it.
We're actually at half an hour already.
Oh, okay. Do you want to give a wave for the next next
Crazy.
bit?
The next
Sorry,
beer.
yeah. You know what?
Jesse, more beer.
Love your style, Tom.
So on the Homecoming, they've showed a lot in the
Yeah.
trailers.
They
Yeah.
always
A lot.
fucking
I've
shit me
stayed
when
away
they do
from
that.
it. They're doing
they're-
like 4.5-minute trailers and shit for
But
it.
they're on TV. The TV spots are on now, and they've got new footage in them.
I haven't had
Ugh.
TV for months, like actual TV.
I haven't
so-
watched TV for
No,
years.
I literally don't have it connected because I need an adapter that's that big to reach the wall. I'm like, fuck it. It's going to cost me
Too far.
$8
It's
for
too
it.
far.
No, I'm not doing it. So we just haven't watched
Just do it
TV.
like they do in the movies. If you pull hard enough, eventually it just stretches enough to make that last couple of
I'm
inches.
not gonna. No, bro. Yeah, because that's what it is.
That's
Yeah,
how the
no,
TV
that's-
ended up on the ground.
Yeah, no, we won't do that. But I can't wait to see that, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think the way they've done his suit, all the action sequences. I don't know if you've seen the game trailers and the for the actual
They got
game.
the VR one coming out. I saw that. The VR experience.
VR one.
Uh,
A Spider-Man VR.
Spider-Man Homecoming VR.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Get ready to vomit
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's-
You won't be able to handle
Yeah,
that.
it's-
Imagine swinging
No, I'll be
like
fucked.
30 stories up. You'll be
Yeah.
peeing your pants.
Didn't
Yeah.
see too much swinging, but there was a lot of like webbing and stuff.
Oh,
So, yeah.
like zip
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the next point.
First
So
person,
warping.
first person webbing is going to have some weird connotations to it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, wait for somebody to change those videos.
Yeah, that's it. Upload that the mod.
Yeah.
But no, I can't wait for that. I don't know if you guys. No, we've already gone through that. You
Well,
guys
just on the
haven't
IMAX then. We'll
Yeah.
segue to Inhumans, which I noticed was
Yes.
heavily advertised as filmed with IMAX cameras, and it will be debuting in IMAX theaters before going to ABC US TV, I think.
It's a TV series, isn't
That's
it?
Yeah.
the premiere, the pilot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, looked good.
I didn't like the look of it.
Really? It's got fucking Bolton from Game of Thrones in it. He was a fucking horrendously, I'm gonna say, good bad guy. He was very, very
Far
fucking
too
evil.
convincing. Far too convincing. Yeah.
And he's playing the leader of the bad guys in Inhumans by the look of it.
You're a Game of
The-
Thrones dude as well, yeah? I'll take it.
Yeah. He's playing. It's Maximus, the brother of Black Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch. I've not seen Game of Thrones.
No.
No.
We're talking Inhumans.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the brother of the king.
I have
I'm
no
back.
idea what you're talking about. I'm just looking for the Inhumans ad I saw this morning.
Oh right.
See if there was any details on it.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I saw a big kind of shot of Lockjaw, the teleporting
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. Is
looked
he,
fucking
like,
awesome.
He's obviously fully CG.
Yeah, fully
Yeah, he's
CG.
Fully CG.
Seems to
they've done a
switch, though,
reasonable
between-
job.
He looks in some like there was that. I don't know if you saw the trailer they released the other day.
Yeah.
In IMAX, September 1st.
There
Yeah,
you go.
okay.
Yeah. In
Dude,
like,
is that's Galactus? That looks like.
no,
Galactus's
that's Black
headpiece?
Bolt's little
Okay.
tuning fork
Okay.
head thing.
Okay.
You're the Marvel man, not me.
Oh, I'm a big Marvel man, so
Yeah.
Fine.
Just before we get into that, what beer are we trying now?
We are on
8-bit?
to
Is this the
the Hop Splicer Grapefruit
Ah,
XPA.
sweet. I haven't had this one.
So
It smells very grapefruity, and that's through a thick cold.
looks maybe filtered a little bit. The wit was a nice nice pale
Unfiltered.
cloud. So yeah, so this one looks
Super grapefruit. man.
Wow.
super grapefruity.
Yeah, wow.
Nice.
It reminds me of like almost a nicer version of the Elvis juice, actually.
Oh wow, that's good.
yeah, that's great grapefruit. Yeah.
Yeah, massive grapefruit.
Yeah.
But
That's
where
excellent.
I don't know if you guys remember, or I don't know if you guys have had. Have you had the Elvis juice?
Yeah.
Brewdog.
Love it.
So, really good, but it has more of a bitterness than what this
Yeah,
does.
definitely,
This
I think
is
Elvis
super
juice-
smooth.
Elvis juice is more peel. it's got that real grapefruit peel
Yeah,
to it. This
there's
has got that
much better,
grapefruit
yeah.
juice flavour to it.
It's good, man.
Yeah,
I
very
like
good. Very good. Yeah, just a very pale XPA at 4.1%. But that's excellent. Really,
Yeah,
really
I'm
good.
very impressed. I don't know why Jesse keeps pouring 6. There's only 4 of us.
I'll drink him.
He'll
It's fine.
probably, just that for him after work. Yeah, classic Jesse.
That
Can't
might
take,
be a
can't,
bit
take-
more.
can't take him
we
anywhere.
decided on 2 paddles earlier, so just because there was 4 of us.
We'll hand them out to the crowd. There's people here.
Our fantastic supporting cast, Lou. Try that.
Has she had one yet? No.
Always the scary part is handing
Handing it
beer
over
over
the-
thousands of dollars worth of,
Yeah.
or hundreds of dollars worth of podcasting gear.
That is great. How many kegs have you got of that?
2.
What a shame.
Yeah.
I'll just
That's
Kane. We're gonna need more.
yeah,
Get him over here. Let him do his
that's-
sales
that's
speech, and he'll.
excellent, we're going to get onto the 8-bit next, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. But geez, the quality is fantastic. I know what the quality of the next one's going to
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah,
those
I love
first
8-bit,
3
so, yeah.
going through that's excellent. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. So, Inhumans, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool.
So where does that fall into? Is it more on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Side of things rather than the Marvel Netflix series?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not because I think they're doing it on ABC.
I think the type of.
Yeah, the type of because
format.
it's not Netflix. It said ABC
Yeah.
on the
No,
on
it's
the
just
ad. I
standard
just
TV.
looked at it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll run probably a bit more separate from itself. Like they tried to tie Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into the MCU, like into the movies.
Yeah.
You know what? They did a pretty decent
Yeah.
job for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in my opinion. Because it was an absolutely terrible series right up until the second Captain America movie. No,
Yeah, and
first one, sorry. And then it got really good because they kind of wove that storyline in.
But then didn't they say I haven't watched a second of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The only thing I've heard about it is they got to a point where they separated it out from the MCU.
It became
There's all the cinematic
it became
universe.
for the way they were doing it. It wasn't running it was running too fast for
Yeah,
the MCU, the
for the
pace of
movies.
it. So it was just like it was easier for them to go kind of their own separate way.
So it's kind of a parallel universe thing now.
It exists in the same universe, but they just don't tie it in.
They
I
don't
think,
tie it in, of course.
But the first tie-in was near the end of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know how we ended up on this topic. When Hydra reveals itself as having penetrated the agency, that tied very well into the end of the first season for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it took them into the second season, and they did basically the whole season of getting these agents out. And Hydra's still very much a big part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
massive
so
part. Yeah. No, I've just finished the
latest season.
Yeah, me and my partner watch it, so we've gone through all of it together.
Yeah.
How's
Great
Ghost Rider?
series.
Yeah.
How's Ghost Rider?
I enjoyed
Oh, he was cool.
it. I really enjoyed him.
The effects
He
were
was-
cool.
he was fucking
look, they're
cool.
more CGI than you would see in a Hollywood movie. It's more obviously
Yeah, yeah.
CGI than
Yeah.
a Hollywood movie, but no, it looked fucking awesome. Particularly when he swung his flaming chain around his chest and
Yeah.
it linked up with itself.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, they've started to use that version of Ghost Rider, which I think it's that.
Yeah,
version
Robbie
of Ghost
Williams,
Rider.
yeah.
He's,
Yeah, that's it.
he's
For the camera.
He's the standard
as-
Ghost Rider now.
as they're advertising in the comic books. So yeah,
I'm
It's a-
actually still super disappointed that they're not doing anything with like Dan Ketch or John Blaze or like I really
the
miss
Ghost Rider we grew up with.
I
Yeah.
miss those books. Even when you go to Kinokuniya or other places, there's no presence. Ghost Rider has no presence, and I'm really trying to hunt down a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I recently went out. I had a very sad day on my way to work the other day. I think I might have briefly spoken to Pete about it, where I dropped into.
This isn't another tripping over your own shoelaces while crossing the road story, is it?
Thanks for bringing that up again.
Chris used to wear these work boots.
I'm wearing them today.
And they've got the little the hook where you put the laces in at the top.
Oh, I've tripped over those.
And he was
I've
halfway
done that.
across the road and
I
put
ate
the
shit.
loop,
I feel your
the
pain.
loop of the bow
I
in
got up, took another couple of steps, and ate shit again in the middle of traffic.
Yeah, I've done that in the
If at
bar.
first you don't
What can you
succeed.
do? Yeah, I've learned to tie my shoes now. Thank you.
I just
only
switched.
took
I
35
got
years.
rid of those hook boots. I just went, nah, I'm going full steel cap like workman boots because
yeah.
they don't have those little hooks. You
Yeah.
can't trip over them.
Yeah.
But I stopped into what's the place? I always get it confused. No, Comic Kingdom? Not no, King's
King's Comics.
King's Comics
King's
on
Comics
Pitt
is on
Street.
Pitt Street, and Comic Kingdom is on the side street next
to the
wall
bar,
of-
right? Yeah,
Across
right.
the opposite the Three Wise Monkeys and down a bit.
Yeah, so
going into Darling Harbour.
that's closed.
Is it? Yeah, okay. I haven't
wow.
been there in like a decade.
Well,
No.
I've been
King's
going
Comics
there.
is still going strong.
Yes.
Oh, King's
yeah.
Comics. Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I went in there the other day, and because I've been meaning to get around there, they've had like a 70% off sign up for
Oh,
ages.
it's closing. You mean?
Well,
Or it's closed.
I've been there the last few days. It has been closed, so I think they finally closed. But I went in there and I had a chat with the guy, and I'm like, "Oh, you're moving up shop?" He's like, "No, we're closing." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, these guys have been there since like '78.
Yeah.
Dude's been doing that for a long time.
When we came to Sydney, my dad's company put us up in the Waldorf Hotel, which is 2 doors down. I was all of 10 years old,
Yeah.
and I would quite often sneak out of the apartment and go 2
Go to the
doors
comic
up
book
to
shop.
And read some comics.
King's Comics and go and rifle through the comic book store.
That's a real shame. They've been a mainstay of Sydney for comic book
But
fans for
that's
a long time.
Location.
That's no
That's a well,
All that,
look,
all that
I'm
work
there
in
all
the
time.
CBD.
digital
maybe?
comics.
Yeah.
Digital comics.
Okay.
People who
No, I'm asked newspapers, mate. That's the way the world's going.
it is, but I
And in fact, it's yeah.
I would
Support your press printing,
yes
Peter.
do that.
Oh no, I'm not supporting digital comics. I'm agreeing that is the cause for
Yeah.
comic books.
Yeah, but
and that society in general is moving to digital media.
yeah, but when
I mean, newspapers are at a point now where it's not just a problem that they've gone online. They're no longer selling physical newspapers. They're at a point where they're laying off journalists all over the world because social media, any dickhead with Facebook can fucking become a fake journalist.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and people accept it without any of the checks and balances that journalists ever had to go through.
But
Yeah.
there's nothing more joyous than getting a package turn up on your doorstep and then opening it up and have a cover like that.
Yeah, I know.
Come out.
It's-
Oh, not
come
even
I
out of
totally
the
agree with you.
packaging.
not
I-
even
I-
that, it's well, for starters, with regards to like news and shit.
Yep.
Like that's you have outlets that print their shit for them.
Yep.
Comic book shops don't have that. You've got Random Jackson and Joe Blow open up their own shops to sell comic books.
Yeah.
You have places like Kinokuniya, great. They only deal in graphic novels and collected editions.
Yeah.
So for those that don't want to collect trade paperbacks, they go buy the books. That's fantastic. Those guys sell fucking A through Z of all kinds of shit.
Yep.
But the smaller
And they've
places,
actually got, just on that, they've got a really good selection of some of the lesser known, the independents.
yeah, hell yeah.
The
But
stuff that we'd usually have to order online.
Yeah, that's right. They've got a
yeah.
huge Dark Horse and IDW and Image.
they
Have you
have
been in there?
everything.
So, Kinokuniya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Far too many times just
Yeah,
got
okay.
wanted to go, yeah, I'm going to stand here for a while.
But this place, I went in there and found out that they were actually closing down.
Kings.
And Kings. He
Comic Kingdom.
Comic Kingdom.
Not King's Comics.
Right.
Comic Kingdom.
Okay.
King's Comics is fine. It's on Pitt Street. They're still going.
Yeah, no.
Comic Kingdom. So I was looking at the stuff that he had in the cabinets, right? We're 70% off. So, and I saw.
Why the fuck didn't you call your friends?
I
What
told
kind of-
you,
what kind
motherfucker.
of-
The one
No,
that
you
works in
didn't.
the city.
Yeah.
Well, you did not tell me that.
This is the segue. This is what I was originally talking about fucking Ghost Rider. I picked up a couple of original issues of Midnight Suns when the real short-lived series that came out in the 90s, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I got a second print of Ghost Rider 1 of the second series when he sort of transferred to that stealth-looking sort of bike, not the Harley, not
The
not
one
the
with
chopper,
the big
with
face.
the big plate on the front.
Yep.
It was fucking rad, and I had a look at a whole bunch of other shit. Todd McFarlane, before he was doing all of his Spawn stuff, there's like a series of Spider-Man books that he wrote. I think it was a Tormented Souls series.
Okay.
And there was also a Spider-Man Punisher Ghost Rider crossover as well. All of this mad shit. Even
There's
going...
the one I've still got at home's got the Punisher Wolverine Ghost Rider.
Yes, and that was another series in itself. But he was selling for $1, man, original, like first print RoboCop, Marvel comic RoboCop, Terminator, Alien, and Predator before they moved over to Dark Horse.
Yeah, right.
Oh wow.
And he had boxes and boxes, and I'm like, if I had the money, I just would have bought.
How quickly can you get a credit card?
Yeah, that's exactly
that
right.
time of day.
But for like $500 worth of comics, man, like it might have cost me like $50,
Yeah,
and
right.
it was really sad. It was super duper sad.
So
And-
now I feel bad because I have a Marvel Unlimited subscription.
On
The
a
digital, yeah.
And finding stuff was the best part of walking into a place, especially that just dealt in trade paperbacks. Finding shit where it's like, holy crap, it's like a 70s original print of Wolverine. It's like, fuck, I'll take that.
Digital definitely has its place. I mean, for things like this, I've bought digital comics because I don't have time to go to go into a store and grab something I need to talk about a topic on here, or someone's mentioned something, and then the actual current run of the Star Wars comics, they're crossing over with Dr. Aphra. So the first issue of the Dark Citadel, I think the story arc's called. First one was Dr. Aphra, which I don't get. The second one was Star Wars, which I get. Third one was Aphra. Fourth one was Star Wars. So I've put the Star Wars ones aside that I've got, and then once the series is over, I'll grab the missing digital ones online.
Okay.
I'll read them. And I mean, DC's a culprit for doing that so often, and you miss out on so much of the content if you don't get Nightwing, Batman, Red Robin.
Especially when they do like big comic events and you have to go buy 70,000 comics just to read the one story.
Yeah, and something that you might not regularly get. So you've got to call and get it added on, or get it individually, find it somewhere individually. So it definitely, for me, that's where the digital has its place. Yeah.
What's like the biggest arc that you've sort of that you've read? Yeah.
Well, with the Marvel Limited, I'm going through their last few big events, so I think I'm three-quarters of the way through Original Sin at the moment.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just finishing that off.
So what's Original Sin?
It's where they assassinate the Watcher and take his eyes that hold all the secrets of the Marvel Universe. And
that sounds interesting.
It was just after, and just before that, I read the Secret Wars, the new version of that.
Yeah, okay.
But the biggest one, when I first had enough income to go out and buy comics myself, I collected most of the Ultimate Universe when that released. So I've still got all the Ultimate X-Men.
Ultimate was good fun.
Ultimate X-Men was great, like a great way. Like, it was good for my mates to be like, have a look.
It's an easy run,
fresh start.
Yeah.
Like, you can start here.
And it wasn't too far from what they'd started to see in cinematic universe as well, because the X-Men were wearing black at that time. Yeah. So the black leather, basically.
Yep.
Obviously a comic book version of that, but
yep.
You're right. It was an easy in.
It was a great way to introduce other people to it. But you use the great thing about the Unlimited is when you
hang on, where's Pete? An error message has just come up on the screen. Don't tell me you went out for a cigarette.
He can't sync his box.
Are you fucking serious?
Go grab him.
I don't know what's happened here.
I don't know. Too technical for us.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's still recording. So we've lost picture probably, but we may still have audio.
It's still got a little record thing on his tablet.
The coffee's lungs out, but he's doing that while he's having a cigarette.
What box is disconnected? Are you still live?
Oh, still live? Okay. Okay.
Guess we just don't worry about Pete's box.
Error message is not error message.
It's not the only thing that doesn't like you touching its box.
No, there's no problem with it.
The Ultimate stuff I was a bit alienated by, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm still stuck in the 90s for...
I think I was getting it when we were living together, and you read a couple of the issues that I had.
It was weird.
You didn't
the suits weren't right. It's just like...
Wolverine's hair was short.
Yeah. I couldn't dig it.
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister was cool, though.
Yeah.
Bishop was cool.
Bishop was good in that, Bishop was good in that.
They're cool in everything, though. Even Age of Apocalypse stuff. I don't know if you read much of the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, I've got the omnibuses. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you would have read the Legion Quest series leading up to it, where David Haller kills Professor Xavier.
No, I could never find it.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I first started being able to buy it, I could never find it. So
Digital comics, bro.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Well, yeah, he's got a Marvel subscription.
Yeah,
digital,
cool. So the problem I find with the omnibuses, because I've got a couple at home as well, the Blackest Night and Brightest Day, and a couple of others. They're fantastic because you see them on the shelf and you go, I've got to fucking own that. People can come over and see it. It's still in the shrink wrap for a couple of them. But I still end up having to buy the digital copy because they're so fucking big. It's not like you can lie in bed and read an omnibus. They're just too heavy.
Oh, you just drop them on your face, and you feel like an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
I've done that many a time.
No, and it's one of those things where, like, if I want to read a comic, I want to do it on the couch or in bed. I don't want to fucking sit at a dining table and open it like a tomb. I'm not reading the fucking...
You get RSI turning the pages. It's like from one end to the other.
Yeah, because that's how I get RSI in bed, Chris.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get another beer because we're at 50 minutes.
Cool.
I think what are we on to next? We're on to the 8-bit.
Yeah, cool.
We've all tried the 8-bit, so maybe we just double bank.
Yeah.
Get the 8-bit and the
Rare ink.
Rare ink.
That sounds good to me.
Straight up off the bat.
As soon as Jesse finishes serving all
The
of these
actual people?
Yeah, the actual customers.
So while we've got
we're
Tommy,
real people, Tom.
we're always still on comics and definitely Marvel comics too. I showed this guy to you earlier. This is the new edition of Darth Vader #1. Have you read any of these? Having the Marvel subscription?
No, I haven't. Because I like to finish the series, then go on to the next one. So the Star Wars Marvel ones are my next. That's teed up, ready to go.
Yeah, cool. So there's a few in the. They've just finished the first run of Darth Vader, so it started with Vader Down.
Yep.
Which was great. Chris, you've still got my first edition of that.
I do.
Awesome. Once you get to Vader
Very
Down,
good series.
Awesome, and it was so good to see them take Darth Vader back into being the absolute badass territory. Exactly what we saw at the end of Rogue One. And
Just watch that. Like,
that's so good.
If I need to like pump up for work,
Yeah.
I go like we've got this massive new sound system upstairs in our like live music area, and I know how to work it. Most of the other managers don't, so I just go
That's
in,
always an advantage.
put it in, and then turn it up to like 11. And like they've come up from like the ground level and be like, "Tom, can you turn down the Star Wars music for fuck's sake?" Nope, I'm Vadering. Like, because we've got all red neons as well. Like, turn all the lights off, put the neons on. It's just like have a little Vader moment. Like
this you should be glad you said that. This first edition, issue 1 that they've just released, actually introduces a new element to the canon as to why the Sith lightsabers are red.
this is I've been reading this. I saw
This
this
is
online.
the corrupted kyber crystals from a
corrupted
Jedi.
fibers.
Yeah.
They also, I can't remember where I was reading it, but there's a theory now as to why Luke is hiding on an island in the middle of fucking nowhere on a remote planet. He took some. Well, the theory is, and it's from this comic series that you've got in front of you. It may even actually be.
We haven't. It's
that
not
comic.
not in issue 1 or 2 yet.
Okay.
Wait a minute,
So-
dude. This is like what?
It starts off.
So
go-
Chris is just
go
going to
back-
read the fucking
dude,
comic.
Go back to the first page. So it starts
Just watch you
off
don't tear the page.
right at the end of episode Revenge of the Sith. He's just been put into his suit, and this is where this issue starts. So Vader Down was started. It was in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
And this goes back to the end of the prequels, and it removes that fucking Hayden Christensen sissy element.
Fuck
that
God.
dude.
And once again makes Darth Vader scary.
That
Yeah,
dude
I
sucks
mean,
dick.
cool.
It's really they've really reinvigorated the character in the end of Rogue One and the comic books, and
Yeah, cool.
they've
Yeah,
brought
good.
him back.
They needed to.
They did.
They needed to get rid of the soft-cockedness that the new.
Well, it's not his
original-
fault. He hates sand. He just hates sand.
Gets in between your toes. Gets everywhere.
So one of the things they've put in one of the comic series that actually it can't be these two then, and I'm not even sure it's that series because it's set after the
Rad.
Empire Strikes Back and it's set after Return of the Jedi. That Darth Vader was hunting for a Jedi to get a crystal to make it. No,
That is this.
right.
Yeah,
And
and
he talks
I
about
don't want to show you the last page of or the cover of. I'll show you the cover of the next issue,
Right.
which is
So they were talking about them taking the Jedi after the attack. Took a vow to basically cut all ties from the Jedi
I saw that,
Temple.
yeah.
these are spoilers for what happens in here. It's
Well, I haven't read the comic and I know, so it can't be true.
only a small one. I won't destroy it for you. He
Destroyed for him.
he's-
Fuck him.
He's hunting a Jedi that's taken a vow of banishment
Yep.
before Order 66.
Yeah.
So before.
yeah.
Which is what you're
Yeah.
tying into
Yeah,
with. That's
exactly
what they're
right.
saying Luke's done.
And that's
because,
why
like,
Luke's in the middle of fucking
Oh,
nowhere.
he's taken a banishment vow.
And he's cut all ties from the Jedi. He's not.
Yeah, well, it's-
And they
participating
call
in
it
the
they call
Jedi
it like bench or something. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has
yeah,
a specific name.
they do actually reference the
Yeah.
proper name.
So
in there.
after putting that in the comics and after
So that's the tie-in.
Well, what they're saying is now that Disney have declared that anything that they put in books or comics is now canon to in the same universe as
Yeah.
the movies, that would explain why Luke's sitting in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and
No,
that's
it's a good theory.
and that's great. I mean, the way they talk about it is those Jedi take those vows because they're not. They've
done something wrong.
No, they haven't done something wrong. They don't agree with the way the Jedi Order is, so they remove themselves from the Order because they don't want to take part
politics
in.
element that they.
It's a bit of a politics.
Well,
element, yeah.
the current theory as to why Luke might have taken that vow was that he trained up Darth Annoying what's his fucking name from the new
Kylo
movie?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo, sorry.
He was great.
Oh, I just no. I
You
didn't
really?
rate him. I didn't rate him.
He was a fucking awesome bad dude.
I didn't rate him. To me, he was having another temper tantrum, just like
Oh
Matt.
no, I'm Kylo Ren was fucking
Right.
sick.
Okay.
I just
Sorry,
felt like
Pete,
he was
3-1.
having another temper tantrum, like Mannequin Skywalker.
But
It was so much
but-
more. It
yeah,
was more relevant. It was more relevant.
That first freeze laser bolt thing.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I remember I was in the cinema and I like popcorn everywhere. Like I just went, what the fucking? What? So I think I just blew
It
out a
was
mic.
No,
there.
it's all good. It's all good.
But that was absolutely
that in
awesome.
post.
The fact as well that he's still he's
unstable.
He's so fucking angry and unstable that just everything is.
You know what? I watched that. I watched the new Superman or Man of Steel. I just found too many of these pop culture movies have released new films where they're just fucking brooding, and I'm just over brooding.
But he's a fucking Sith.
Yeah,
He's
but
the
so
son-
was, but you never
he's-
saw Darth Vader in the original trilogy.
But he's
pacing around a fucking room
But
going,
there's
"Those
younger.
damn
There's
Jedi."
no story reason as to why he's brooding. He's a fucking kid, and he hasn't yet made the full commitment to fucking
Louise is laughing at our argument.
So to me,
to go dark. Like there's a fucking story.
to me, it was very
Cavill's-
similar to Anakin Skywalker having his temper tantrum and declaring that it's not fair. It was very similar.
No, it was nothing
No.
like that. There was no not fair about it. It was like
When he cut sick, when he was torturing or trying to pull the knowledge out of what's her name's head. My brain's not working
Ray.
today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he went and attacked the fucking console behind her. Just shit like that.
He was pissed off.
Sure, but he had a temper tantrum with a fucking lightsaber in his hand. It just
I mean,
No,
who-
that
yeah,
wasn't that
just-
scene.
No, I think it was
wouldn't
after
you?
she
Like,
escaped. He
That was
realized
before
she
that
escaped.
when
No, it's when he finds out when they said there was a girl and he goes, "What girl?" And then he's got the Imperial officer behind him and
Yeah.
he just goes,
Yeah, slices up
Yeah.
the console.
To me,
"Whoop."
yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Kylo Ren just got angry at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop
Clearly.
sitting on him.
He attacked me with fucking lightning. Anyway, we'll move
Anyway,
on.
that new
Cool.
Darth Vader series, awesome.
Yeah,
really
cool.
good.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. We'll have to
Getting
check
to
that
it.
out.
We still don't have another beer.
That's all right. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Just
Mind
go
you,
pour 'em.
I don't know. I'm gonna fucking introduce this because I was keen to talk about this last time. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. Good.
What did
Home
you
and
guys
Hose.
think?
We've finally all seen it.
Chris is going to tear it apart because
know.
he wants to have a rant. So,
Go nuts.
I'm gonna make it a mild
I'll
rant,
go
but-
pour beers while you rant.
Yeah, sweet. What did you
we'll fill
think
you
of it?
in when he comes back. I
You'll
thought,
probably be able to hear him from behind the bar.
Yeah.
I thought it was definitely the best of the DC so far, except for some elements of, obviously, Ben Affleck's Batman was great. I thought the ending was terrible, basically.
I was cookie cutter as fuck.
Oh, yeah, but...
It was trope. The whole movie was trope. It was a rip-off of Marvel, and it's exactly what DC needed to do to revive the DC universe.
yeah,
That was my take on it all.
I thought it was really good. I thought she was really good. I thought Chris Pine was really good.
I enjoyed it.
Dr. Poison was really good.
Obvious plot holes.
Yeah.
As obvious as fuck.
It was a great movie.
And having known who the big names were, as soon as you found out that, one of the two major actors that could have been the bad guy wasn't the bad guy, you knew
Yeah.
who the bad guy was straight away.
And I think that was a very, very poor choice.
Yeah.
The guy who played Ares, great actor
Yep.
in everything that he does, but
It was great in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was waiting for him, and me and Louise had this conversation afterwards, I was waiting for him to do the cinematic morph into the big, burly Greek god.
Yeah.
He was not
Yeah.
a Greek god. He was a little tweedly mustache Englishman.
Yeah.
And that really killed that entire thing for me.
Yeah.
They tried to...
But Ares' armor did look cool.
They tried to fix that by building the armor around him, which was really good.
I thought the armor, when he was walking around in the suit, it looked cool.
Yeah.
And it looked like the Ares that I had just finished reading in
Injustice.
Injustice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it was cool, and it was DC's best effort
Yeah.
in that they've done so far.
And going back on something you said a couple of weeks ago, which we all 100% agree with, that
Thanks, Tom.
all the movies are these days are 2-hour trailers to the next movie.
Yeah,
This was not
Yeah.
that. This
It was not.
This was a standalone
Yeah.
movie.
because DC's introduced way too much shit in the last couple of movies, from Suicide Squad to Batman v Superman. They've rushed. They
focused.
Which, I mean, Iron Man, MCU has had time and multiple movies to slowly set shit up.
But even from their first movie, they had the overall arc that they had planned to drag through over 15, 20 years.
You're talking about Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And DC just hasn't had that focus.
They haven't, because the last couple of movies they brought. Now, I love Batman v Superman. I even like Suicide Squad, but I can see the shittiness to both of them, right?
Well, do you think that comes down to I think definitely comes down to the fact that it's Marvel Studios behind the MCU films, and they don't have the Warner Brothers element.
They didn't have that.
And they've got people
Kevin
who,
Feige.
They've got the guys who actually write, who are in there, really pushing.
It feels like the DC movies. Whoever's writing,
Jeff
directing,
Johns
whatever.
is now controlling. He's now the Kevin Feige for DC.
Yeah. It just feels like
That's
everyone
how it
was trying to make a name for themselves with each of the movies.
That's right.
On their own.
It just lacked vision as a cohesive DC universe. It needed to have vision.
And who knows what's going to happen now? Joss Whedon's obviously taken over the final edit of Justice League.
Yep.
He's brought Danny Elfman in to do some new musical score.
Yeah.
So who knows whether we're going to get Snyder's vision or we're going to get Josh Whedon's altered version.
It will be interesting. Or you might end up with Disney's vision, which is what they're talking about now with the latest Star Wars movie. They just sacked the director.
Han Solo,
They've
Han
sacked
Solo,
the directors,
For the second time for this movie?
No, first time for Han Solo.
I read
this
somewhere that
movie,
they were
okay.
worried they were trying to make Han Solo like Ace Ventura.
I heard that as well,
I was like, okay. If they're going to sack them because of that, I'm not.
exactly.
I don't want Han Solo becoming Ace Ventura.
It's a movie they don't need to make.
But
they didn't need to
right.
make it. They made the great choice in making Rogue One. It was a story we'd heard about and had been alluded to, but we'd never seen in a book or a comic book or anything like that I know of. It's probably being covered in the expanded universe somewhere. But
before it was declared canon. So
they made the right choice there. It's not a perfect movie, but I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
It's great. But I mean, doing a Han Solo movie, that's just cashing in. That's just throwing.
They should have done
Boba
Boba Fett.
They should have.
Yeah. They did say they were doing 3 standalone movies, but you're right. That is just to cash in and to kind of pad it out for the trilogy.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much happening in that universe. Once again, look at Rogue One and how they filled that out with everything happening on Jeddah and everything like that. There was so many options they could have done. It's a bad choice.
Yeah,
I'll see it.
It was it's a cash in because I know that people are going to go watch it for Han Solo.
You can't do. They're not going to do anything original though. You're not going to do anything original now that you've done your little original intro movie.
I think they will. I think after the Han Solo, I
hope so.
They'll do some.
They need to
original
write
stuff.
new stories.
Not until they cash in on. Not until they've done the whole cast. They'll do an intro.
I don't think they'll do the whole cast.
I'll fucking bet dollars to donuts. They will bring a movie out about every fucking character.
The thing is, they didn't need to do Han Solo, but if that then leads into Lando Calrissian, I'm 100% on board
totally
because
agree.
that is a story I want to see. Because that would be so interesting, and they've done a Lando run in the comics, which I haven't read yet, but apparently it's really good. I'm going to grab that, probably digitally.
Comics is one thing, man. I think comics, original stories or backstories, it always translates better in comic book version than when they sort of bring that shit out on in the cinematic world.
We ended up back on Star Wars. That's fantastic.
I'm looking
think
at
we
one of
ever
those
left, did we?
episodes. I'm looking
You wore
forward.
my
We weren't talking
Star Wars
Marvel.
undies for a reason today.
I'm looking forward to Han
Chris
Solo.
was whinging about Wonder Woman.
I was.
Okay, we'll jump
I
back
was
there.
going up, but that doesn't matter.
We'll jump back there in a sec. We have the Stockade 8-bit
8-bit.
IPA. Chris had a pint of this before we started, and my comment was, "This is how I remember Little Creatures Pale Ale tasting."
Yeah, they added 80% water.
Yeah, it's so good. It's got that real fresh green grape.
That's a funny comment,
hop
actually.
character.
Why?
What percentage of beer is water?
Oh, it's up there in the high 80s, 90%.
Yeah, but then you take the beer, which is 80-90% water, and then you add water. What do you get?
Rashes.
Cool.
It's the Powerade of beers.
So another light coloured IPA. It's got some light orangey tinges to it, a little bit hazy, but that hop character that's coming off on the nose is fantastic.
It's awesome, man.
Medium to high bitterness to it, and a really good hop flavour on the palate as well. It's another.
You could drink lots of it though.
Oh,
I mean, it's very hoppy, but you could drink shitloads.
This was recommended by our usual guys over at Quaker Cellars. This was their recommendation last year when I was watching the AFL Grand Final. I bought 2 4-packs of theirs and was a very happy camper for the day.
Yeah, it's heaps good. I've had this stuff a bunch of times. Like if I see it on the shelf, even at work, I even buy it at work. Take a couple of bottles home because it's fucking good. I really like it.
Yeah, it's just
It is
super delicious IPA.
We're at an hour 5 though, so we're gonna have to smash through the rest of these beers.
Well, do we want to get the next round of beers then?
Yeah,
as
go
well.
over. We don't have to finish them all now. We can finish them after.
Do a double whammy.
I can't finish them
And
anyway.
did anybody do a disclaimer that we're not being paid to promote the anything here? We're doing,
haven't-
these are honest opinions of the beers.
Yeah, this is
Stockade
probably the
haven't given
first
us a
episode
thing.
we've not made that disclaimer in so far. so
Absolute honest opinions of the beers. They are all fantastic.
We've also picked the Stockade stuff because
it's a tap takeover.
It is an event that's going on here, and there's stuff that we haven't had.
Yeah, we were very lucky to be here today, so thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a great lineup, and we picked these specifically because they're on for Canada Day.
Yeah.
So, who made the Ren and Stimpy?
I did.
Chris did.
That was genius.
That was good. I like that. Yeah. Cool. What's up? Next.
What's up?
What's up? Do you want to go
Well,
keep
now
going
Wonder
on
Woman.
Or?
No,
Oh,
I've got to
look.
hear the rant. He's been fucking holding his breath.
Oh, it was the Rand, wasn't it?
No.
No.
Oh, go then.
Did you get...
Has Chris ever stopped at it was a shit movie?
No.
In the 25 years we've known him.
Did any of you pick up at all? The reason why you enjoyed it was because it was literally a fucking Captain America clone with breasts and a vagina. I'm talking about plot lines as well. Everything down to why she decides to go and help the people, why she goes and helps the humans. The same as Captain America. Like, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. There's just a couple
It
of
sounds
points.
like you've made up a list.
I don't have a problem with it.
I do.
It's the same reason I really enjoyed the last Star Wars movie. It's a complete clone of...
A New Hope.
Yeah.
Can you call it? Can you say, "Oh, DC's done a really good job of this. It's their best entry"? When, like, even down to the name of the dude that jumps in the biggest plane ever built on the planet, full of bombs to save humanity. There's Steve jumps in. Oh, I've got to crash. Oh,
They're both
I've
named
got to crash.
Steve.
They're both fucking named Steve.
Steve.
But
Even down to the motorcycle chase.
Yeah, no,
it could still be.
You know what? It says a lot about DC movies that the best they could do was to copy a Marvel movie.
Completely
but fuck
ripped
me,
it
it
off.
worked for Marvel.
It did, yeah, but it worked for DC.
And something needed
It's
to happen
done-
for DC.
Correct. And
Not wrong, yeah.
hats off to them that they've basically put their balls in their pocket. You know what, fuck it. Let's just do what Marvel did, because everyone likes the shit that they do.
Yeah, and who doesn't like Captain America with boobs?
But you look at what it's inspired, and even Gal Gadot put a story on Twitter about a teacher that sent an email to her saying how much it's empowered her young female students as well as some of the male students. I mean, that sort of stuff. Like, and Captain America probably did at the time as well. I mean, it was
empowered
a
me as a
strong
male.
female character.
I'm sure it empowered all Americans.
Who cares whether it was a clone of what it was? It could have still been a bad movie, even if it cloned
Yeah.
the storyline.
Yeah,
Like,
it
could have been
the
shit
production
acting,
quality,
everything
Yeah, you're
everything
right.
could have been rubbish
The
with
script
it.
could have been
the script
shit.
could have been terrible. The sets could have been terrible.
The only thing
The
I
actors
didn't
could have been
like,
terrible.
The only thing I truly didn't like, because I can forgive all of the gaps and the flaws and the plot devices. It is very trope. It was a trope movie.
It was,
and I think
yeah.
they needed to do one.
First 30 minutes
Yeah.
was a waste of fucking time.
just
They
did
should have
not-
cut that down to 15-minute
Just
montage.
the number of gratuitous crotch shots pissed me off.
I had no dramas with that.
Yeah, but you had the.
I didn't
you-
actually
You
notice.
had no dramas with it for
Yeah,
the same
neither did
reason
I.
I thought it was
I was
gratuitous.
looking out for them. Just saying.
There were numerous.
They were.
And they didn't need to be. I mean, you've got a strong female lead character who has their own backstory that is a strong backstory. It's interesting.
I don't think they
So
were
what's
actually...
the difference between that and having
They
Henry
weren't-
Cavill's package on display every 5 minutes
They
in his
weren't
fucking
crotch
skin-tight
shots.
blue suit?
It was no different than any other character doing their slow-mo Spider-Man and shit when he's doing his thing. It's just that you're attuned to going, oh, now there's vag on the screen, or it's a gratuitous
Yeah,
shot.
that's
No,
exactly what I said
it's the
sitting in the
same.
car at the drive-ins with the wife next to me. There's
It's
vag on
same
the
as
screen.
everything
Hey,
else.
recorded proof now. Everything that goes on the internet stays on the internet.
They'll find out later.
I didn't think it was sexist or anything.
No, I don't
like
think
I
it
that.
don't
was.
think
it was at all.
I just felt it was just pushing it just a little bit too far.
What about, remember George Clooney's nipples in Batman
Yeah,
and
man.
Robin?
Yeah.
Think about
They
how
weren't really
poor
his, they
George...
were just moulded onto the rubber.
They were horrible.
Let's discuss the downfall of Joel Schumacher.
I don't think we have enough, I don't think we have enough time.
Nah.
Downfall of
Yeah,
George.
about
He just
6 hours.
sold a tequila company for like a couple of
Billion
billion
dollars.
dollars.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, like
Billions.
of dollars.
A lot of money.
Yeah, he's a genius.
He needs to get over that coffee hump.
Yeah, he does.
It's
It's like a little
bad
stronger.
choice. Yeah.
Are we talking about Clooney or Schumacher?
Clooney.
Yeah.
Clooney
And
sold
Schumacher.
his-
It's the link.
Yeah,
That's how that movie was made.
I get
Tequila.
it. I
That's
get
how
it now.
that's-
but we-
I think everyone was drinking tequila, especially the dudes that made the suits. Lucy Silverstone's was all right though. I didn't have any dramas with that.
Oh god, whoever cast her
Sorry
needs to
about
be absolutely shot.
Yeah, agreed.
They could. No, that's fine.
They do. That was terrible.
I think that was the last movie she was in, wasn't it?
I haven't
It was
seen it since.
Clueless,
Oh,
and then
who knows?
Batman and Robin.
I'm sure there was some.
I have not
C-grade
followed
other-
her,
I would,
right.
you know what? I would have watched any movie they threw her in when I was growing up. I'd love Alicia Silverstone.
Hey, speaking of, this is a different segue, but speaking of Batman, I watched Affleck's Live by Night, the gangster movie he made. So he made Live by Night. Warner Brothers
That
gave
was
him
recently came out.
recently.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers gave him the free run to make this movie.
Yep.
He directed and acted in it, and it was released before or after Batman v Superman. After, I think, when they'd announced he was directing Batman, and it did. I don't know if it got panned, but like all the interviews were all asking.
What
Next.
beer are we doing next?
We're doing the
So they had to ask her for it.
the rare ink,
Rare Ink.
the hand pull. So
And what's her name?
You got Maddie or Fanny in the bar.
I'm not going to scream out Maddie or Fanny.
which
Can.
one's this?
She's French. It's a thing.
Live by Night. During the interviews for Live by Night, everybody was asking Affleck about the next Batman movie and when it was coming out and who was going to be in it, and he was like, "Ask me about the movie I just directed and made. Don't ask me
And
about."
can you blame him?
That's
no,
fucked.
you cannot absolutely not blame him, and it is a fucking good movie. It's
I haven't seen it.
It's a straight out and out gangster movie.
Okay.
It starts off in Boston in the Prohibition.
He
Yep.
directed this as well.
He
yeah.
directed it and
Yeah.
starred in it.
I'll watch
and
that.
It's an out and out gangster movie.
It's funny you bring up an Affleck movie that's not Batman because the wife and I just finished watching The
been a couple.
Accountant.
Yeah.
last night.
I watched The
Yeah.
Accountant on the
It
plane
was
as
fucking
well.
brilliant.
It was really good.
And I
yeah.
said to the missus, I really hope this is another paycheck without. I mean, obviously it can't be another paycheck, but it's one of my favourite movies of all time. I don't know if you've seen it.
Paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant movie.
No.
Sci-fi Affleck and Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman, yeah.
Sci-fi.
It's
Yeah.
it is most definitely science fiction
Science
bent,
fiction, yeah.
but it's not a science fiction movie.
It's
if
not
that
a.
makes sense.
It's not a space.
No.
Science fiction. It's a.
What happens if we can predict the future?
Let's say
Minority Report?
Let's say
Sorry?
50 years.
Minority Report?
50 years
No,
before.
it's
Less,
better than
less
that.
Tom Cruise.
50 years before Minority Report. Let's say.
Right. Yeah.
Before they got to that level of technology.
But brilliantly written.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really, really
clever.
brilliantly
Yeah.
written.
Yeah.
I've
gonna have to check it
seen
out.
like
Advertised.
advertised.
Yeah,
but I
same.
never got
Yeah.
around to watching it.
Yeah,
One of
it
my
is
favourite
quite
movies.
a good movie.
I just thought it was like an old because like Affleck hasn't always been in the greatest of
No, true.
movies back in the day, but The Accountant.
Affleck was bomb in the Phantom.
You're the bomb in Phantoms. But I don't know if you guys have seen like. And this
Well, we
is
should
like,
talk about Guardians too. It's only been out for about 6 fucking months, and we
fuck,
still haven't
that's
spoken
right.
about it.
Have you seen it?
I don't care if Dan hasn't seen it now. It's too far. We missed that train.
Oh yeah, we touched on a little bit without spoilers about how fucking Kurt Russell.
I was thinking about that this morning.
Badass.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah. I do this thing where I go and see them like day one, like during
Yeah.
the middle of the day, because I usually have the day off, or if I'm working the night, and I'm like one of the 4 creepy dudes in the cinema.
On your own.
And I don't care. Like it's my favorite thing to do. I love going to the movies by myself. There's nothing worse than going to the movies with someone, and they're like, why is he doing that? What's he doing that for?
Yeah.
What's that happen? Why does this happen? Yeah, like, no, I definitely go, like, I will admit, and I'm not proud of it, but this week I did go and watch the new Transformers movie.
Last night. Is that out?
Yeah,
I didn't realise it was being released.
I saw it on Wednesday. I went...
And
Early thoughts?
please tell me it was good.
My problem with it,
Without spoilers.
without spoilers, because that's unlike you guys. I've listened to every episode. I know how much you spoil guys and stuff. Yeah, ponies.
We try not to.
I know you.
we
You
give
do
you
spoilers.
warnings.
I'm not. This won't be any spoilers. It's just.
You know what?
I
We
like
don't
the
care,
Transformers.
and he does.
Yeah,
So
okay. So
spoil away.
the only problem is like
Fuck you, Dan.
Michael Bay when he goes.
The only problem is Michael Bay. End of conversation.
It's like I was trying to explain it to my girlfriend Emma because she's like, "Why the hell did you go watch that?" She judged the shit out of me for watching it, and I was like, and it was the thing is,
I get judgment from these two.
yeah, that's fair. Like, he goes to write a scene. And he gets halfway through it, and then I think he gets like a little bit of ADD. He gets distracted, and he's like, you know what?
Camera pan.
No, exploit some shit.
Yeah.
Exploit
Yeah.
some shit. And then he's like, but even in his like fighting sequences, like, I'm like, sweet. There's gonna be some sweet robot on robot fighting action, like guns blazing, like.
I'm glad you put the word fighting in that sentence.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Bumblebee's got a hammer now, like a war hammer. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
sweet. Apparently,
Yeah.
Bumblebee's Thor. Like that's cool. He throws it a lot. Just by the way, like literally.
Does it come back? Like, is it like
but he
magnetized
just-
or
Just
something?
do the spinny thing and fly off into the
No,
air.
it's definitely spinning, but you don't see it like pull it back.
That looked great in the comics. Sorry, just for a second. That looks great in the Thor comics, but it looked ridiculous on screen.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
wasn't.
think.
The
I don't
spinny
think so.
fucking fly thingy.
Yeah, that's fair. But then like even in that, it's like he gets halfway through a fight and you're like, sweet, okay, this is going somewhere. And then he gets distracted and he starts like, oh, well, here's Mark Wahlberg and what's the other, Josh Duhamel. Because he's back from the original.
right,
yeah.
Let's put them sliding down like a water slide and do like a shitty shot of that because that's important. Like,
Yeah. Boy, who goes for the bloody human characters?
well, it's just like he doesn't finish it, and then you're like, oh, well, you just left disappointed.
He was making
Yeah.
a point and he forgot what it was halfway through making it.
halfway through. Yeah,
He does that.
Chris's comment in the car on the way over here, he wanted Shia LaBeouf back in him.
Yeah.
He features.
Oh,
Not him, but you see him. You see him.
right.
Anthony Hopkins is hilarious as the crazy old dude.
Yeah,
He
cool.
plays a great crazy old dude.
Anthony Hopkins
doesn't-
plays good crazy.
Yeah.
old
Chris
man.
doesn't like Anthony Hopkins.
Can we stop for a second? Hang on.
Well, Chris has a brain
He's
meltdown.
absorbing the
Hang
Shia
on.
LaBeouf comment.
Was it okay? I know the last one was shit. The last one was crap. It was a waste of
Overall.
my fucking time.
Overall, like
Where would you put it in the rankings of all of them that have come out?
it was definitely better than the Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh, dude, that's
scrotum
fine.
scene.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
I was leaning on that. No, it's
Fucking with my life here.
it's.
I had no dramas with the scrotum scene, by the way.
I hated the idea they were even making another Transformers movie, and I hated myself more for liking the trailer.
No, it's one thing. Like you go into it and it's really cool, but it's like I like where they're going. Like if he could just finish the scene,
Yeah.
like it would have been like a really cool. I've watched all the Transformers movies. Like
Yeah.
I'll definitely, and it's one of the things you have to go watch in IMAX because
Yeah.
it just completes the
fucking
experience.
epic.
For anyone
But-
with vertigo, don't watch it in IMAX.
They'll be fun. They'll balance out. But it's just it gets to you after a while, especially because I'm like a massive Marvel nut, so I love
Yeah.
all the Marvel. And like after being treated to those, to go back to it, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, man, you're so close, but then
Yeah.
you pan out. And
All right.
Yeah,
It's better than the last one, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
I
good enough.
definitely
That's
recommend.
fine.
recommend going to see it.
That's
Like,
enough. That's enough for me
if
to
you-
watch
if
it.
you
How was the
really-
script, though? Because Mark Wahlberg, does he have a part that's worth watching this time around?
Seems like there's like a bunch of little fucking
'Cause-
kids and shit in there.
No, they're in for like the first little bit. Like they're
Please tell me
barely
they
in
get
there.
macked.
I'm feeling much better about this. I'm feeling much better about this.
No, it's like Mark Wahlberg's character is great because he just gets angry. He's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, cool.
He's just an angry Mark Wahlberg, which
I like
everyone
Marky
enjoys.
Mark.
Yeah, everyone loves a bit of Marky Mark.
I still think he has no business in Transformers because they misused him in the last
They did misuse
movie.
him. That was why I asked, was he scripted well?
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean,
it was
yeah.
like, let's just throw a really big actor in and see if it saves the movie. But if you give him shit lines,
you can see it in this one. He's having more fun as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
cool. Good.
That's the good part. But
Rad.
yeah, like they do try and shoehorn it back to a lot of the earlier ones, and it's like, I think by bringing back Josh Duhamel into it,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
his
yeah.
like,
oh
yeah.
wow, sorry, we need to talk about this beer.
So this
Oh,
is
this is fantastic.
Oh
Rare
my
Ink
god,
Sessions session stout, 4.4%, but hand pull.
Yeah.
Was the hand pull your decision, or was that how they actually serve it?
when I first started here, hops had been open for about 6 to 8 months. So I just came in and I will admit, when I first started the bank, my go-to beers were pails, and I didn't.
You and me
try
both,
that.
mate.
Yeah, but then we had the original Newtown Young Henry's Hop Ale, the original one they did.
Yep.
On tap, and I was like just told like for my like post work stuff, they were like, have this, you got to try it, and I was like, ooh, hello, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to go more into hops. It's part of my job. Like, I've got to get in. And I was starting to get into it, but I was definitely still hitting that, like, pale IPA range. Now I'm drinking everything. Like, it's completely opened up. To the point where I told...
Sorry.
I don't know what the fuck that noise
Get
was.
that out.
It sounded like a bird.
I think it was his zip on the microphone.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was like... I told my girlfriend on Tuesday, I was like, I'm going to pop down at Barney's in Rosebery. Have you ever been in that bottle shop?
No?
Barney's Fine Wine Ales, great bottle shop. The beer guy wants to buy out the wine guy, so he has more room for his beers. It's great.
Yeah, cool.
And they were having like, I walked in, didn't know this, but they're having like a clearance end of financial year sale. So I got 12 beers from all over the world for $80.
Wow.
I was
That's pretty
cheering
good.
about.
Yeah.
Like, I got one of those. I'm probably gonna have it tonight when I get home. Is the Founder's Fruitwood, that cherry beer aged in barrels.
I saw that. I saw that today on
Noble
on-
Hops. I think had it on tap.
Maybe that's who was
Yeah.
advertising it on
But
Facebook.
got a bottle of that, and that was on special. I was like, oh, hello, thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, and so she was just like laughing. She's like, yeah, like when you used to go out to buy beer, it was like you went down to Liquorland and you bought whatever, like
Yeah, whatever they had.
whatever
Yeah.
they had, and now you go to this like weird
You can't
store in the
shop at
back of
Liquorland.
with the back of Rosebery, and you come back with a unmarked box of like.
This is fantastic, though.
And
This-
you
This
know,
is fantastic,
you know
yeah.
what? If you said to, I'll put it like in
air
quotations,
quotes.
average Joe, and said you spend $80 on 12 bottles of beer, they would
They'd be
fucking
like,
laugh
what
at
the
you.
Yeah.
fuck?
I think the lowest, like it was one of the things as well. Like the lowest percentage beer I got was one of the Hitachino Nest, the Japanese ones, and I got it. It was their classic ale, and I think that's like 4 point something. But the rest, like we're talking like good 6-7% beers.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And
so
12 of
yeah,
them for
yeah,
$80.
big ones,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
that's damn
I was
good,
cheering,
yeah.
absolutely cheering.
This will probably be our last beer on the episode because we're at an hour 20.
Oh, we can't not have the Mountie.
we have to have the
we
Mountie.
have to have the Mountie on
Okay,
it.
get the
I might
Mountie
ask
up
them for the
now.
Mountie.
Get the Mountie up.
Do it.
So raring on handball. So
Very lightly carbonated, almost undercarbonated.
well, no.
Oh,
Hand
it's the
pulls
hand
are.
pull.
That's how you do it. You have it
So
bumps all the
the keg's
carbonation. out.
actually under the bar. So what we have is we
Yeah,
have
I can
this
see it, actually.
we have this contraption where it's basically half a wheelie bin, and we
Yeah.
cut the top off, and then we put the keg in, fill it with ice, and we've just got the line. It runs.
Does the council know you've got that?
Don't bring up the council.
You're on live video, mate.
Hey, council. We don't have this. It doesn't exist.
That's right.
Don't know what
It's
you're
a
talking about.
figment of your imagination.
Yeah, and then-
they don't make orange bins anyway, so it's all good.
No,
You're safe.
Love that orange bin.
It's not a fucking Sulo bin. It's not like, or is it?
Some poor bastard down King Street just hasn't been able to put out their rubbish for months. No, so we and then it runs through. I know a couple of other places keep their hand pumped beers in their cellar,
Yeah.
and then run the lines up. But we wanted to put it in the actual bar, so it's kind of that cool little thing we do.
That
Yeah,
is
well,
cool.
I mean, it's got that. It's definitely hand pulled. It's pumped all the carbonation out of it, or most of the carbonation out of it. It's got that light, smooth body on it. Yeah, it's definitely a session stout. It's a lot. It's
Yeah,
a
it
lot
is.
less robust than even
It
just
doesn't
a,
kick you in the face when you drink it.
just
it's
a
very
regular stout.
chocolatey.
It's very chocolatey, but
it-
just that real easy to drink. It's
Yeah.
only at 4.4%.
Is it
so
right?
it's
And
just-
as Anton was saying at the start, and before I fucked up the the Facebook live feed, so I don't know if people listening saw that part.
it's recorded though.
Anyway, yeah. So it's a gateway drug into dark beers.
Yeah,
It's-
100%.
It's so easy to drink that and then to want more dark beers.
So right to say that with the lower carbonation, you also get more of the accentuated sort of notes as well, like
Malt
tasting.
character.
Yeah.
So carbonation will bring out hop character because it releases the oils and aromas and
Yeah.
that. Lower carbonation, you very rarely, I won't say ever, very rarely find a hoppy beer on hand pull.
Yeah.
Like the English beers and that you'll find on hand pulls are malty English pales and things like that.
Yep.
And the darker end of things.
Yeah.
Just because hop character doesn't survive that bumping out of the CO2, it just gets lost. So definitely malt forward beers on handful.
Awesome, man. Unfortunately,
You need to
choice
pee as
of,
well.
I have to go and do a pee. I'll be back.
For us, I think
I've been waiting. Sorry, I've so been waiting for Chris to walk away with the headphones around his head. Still, it hasn't happened yet. But it will.
I'm not that fucking stupid.
So we only put darks or ESBs pretty much. On the hand pump.
Yeah. So definitely those malts, malt side of the spectrum of beers.
Yep.
Yeah. So, sorry, I don't know whether I missed it. Was that a specifically made hand pull product, or it was a degassed?
Degassed at 7 a.m. this morning when I
Yeah.
got
Okay.
it.
Right. So it was your choice, not theirs.
Yeah.
No. Kane suggested it on the hand pump because he said, so Kane's the Stockade rep, and he suggested on the hand pump because he feels not being carbonated left in the cellar where it gets really cold. He says when it's a bit warmer, you get
The flavours start
the
to
flavors
explode.
are like insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a very, very light, rounded stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Get it I find it really dry as well. Like
It is
really
actually,
nice dryness.
Yeah, it's not, it hasn't got that sweet thickness
Yeah,
to
you're
it
right.
as well. Yeah, very, very much so.
Unlike the Mountie we're about
And
to
the
get.
Mountie we're about to have, I'll introduce it because it's coming out,
Thank you.
is a Maple Imperial Stout. It was Stockade's Gabs beer, and it was the fan favourite at Gabs this year and got voted beer
People's
of
choice.
show. People's choice, that was the word I was looking for. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm a little bit shaky still, so it's I'm a little worried about passing beers around here like this.
That would be right.
Yeah, so it is
Very dark.
very much darker. It's still got that light sort of reddish tinge to it. It's not. It's not
smell
a.
it, Dan.
It's, I've had it. I know what it smells like.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. Kane got me a bottle sample of it, and I had it the other night.
Yeah. Okay.
To put myself to sleep,
Oh,
and it knocked me the hell out.
Are they doing packaged for that?
yes, I don't know how easy
very
it is
limited
to get.
package,
yeah.
but yeah.
Oh,
you
while
can-
Anton's here, I need to hit him
Oh
up.
no, he's disappeared.
Bugger. That's
The,
amazeballs.
I when we rolled into Gabs, this was the first beer because I ran into Kane and he's like, "Here, you've got to try this."
Yep.
This was the first beer that got bought to me without
That's
the knowledge
perfect
that
way
it
to
was.
start your Gabs.
Yeah, without the knowledge, it was
Can only go
12%.
down from there?
Start at the biggest one and move back.
Yeah, exactly. But it's extremely dark, much sweeter than the session stout we just had, the Rare Ink Session Stout. It's a lot stronger at 12%.
Yep.
12%, flat 12%.
Fuck, that smells amazing.
Done with maple syrup, so it is.
Yeah, we're just talking about the Mountie.
It is a very, very good sweet imperial stout. It's,
I know, right? I'm pissed
I
off.
didn't get to try this at Gabs.
Oh,
No, I didn't get to try this.
well, they
Neither did
ran
I.
out.
I would fucking bathe in this shit. It's amazing.
I'm pissed off that I'm on antibiotics and have to drive, so I can't really have more than another
dude.
mouthful
I'll
or two.
try-
I'll try and
yours.
get you
I need to get some
Fine.
packaged.
I'll get you a takeaway container or something like from the kitchen.
Get
You
a
can
growler.
Put in that.
For real? Can we do that? Can we get that done?
No, you can't.
Addis would love. I think Addis might
Addis
have
tried
had
this
it.
because she came
She
up
did?
when I had the sample.
She would have been all over
So,
this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
We're
No,
we're
she
totally
did. She
hitting the
loved
wrap up for some packaged product after this.
No, so yeah, is
So
this
good.
Is this available in bottle for the people viewing
Sorry,
at home?
Dan's talking
Dan's
to someone
talking
off
to
camera. It's
Kane, who's
it's Kane,
Stockade
the sales rep
sales
from
sales
Stockade.
rep.
It's a first in first serve kind of basis. So we just done another
not good enough,
release this week, and literally it went. It just went.
So there's none left
There's none
in
left.
package.
Pretty much none left. You may be able to find. Well, okay. So Bucket Boys will have a case on the 14th. So I'll be doing a tasting there.
Okay,
Bucket Boys is a bottle shop in Marrickville.
Yeah,
We're gonna edit that
which
out.
It will be one case.
I'll stake that out,
So
man.
Yeah.
everybody, like Newcastle, which is this melting pot of everybody who loves craft beer, lives. And these people there wanting to buy 4 cases of this stuff.
I just want a bottle, just something that I can drink at home when I'm not on antibiotics and I can actually
I want a
enjoy
box.
it.
See what we
I want
can
a
do.
case.
We'll see what we can do in there. for you.
Cheers.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Thanks, Kane.
Cheers.
Not enough to bathe in.
Oh, seriously though, a
very small bath, like a bird bath size. You probably do.
That's just something you could drown him in.
Yeah.
You know, you need to
Hell of a way
do
to
is you
go.
need to, you know, the old school of pouring it in and putting the towel over your head while you sit and just vaporize it. You get the alcohol at that
Yeah,
stage
you
too.
would.
Yeah, 100%.
But Dad said this
We
is the
vaped the Mountie.
best beer I've ever smelled. It just
That might be the title for the episode.
vaped the Mountie.
I think that might be it. Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Wow.
It reminds me,
Alright.
we had a guy in this morning who, this old fella, came in and his first thing he was talking about was he had the rare ink and he absolutely loved it because he's not really into his dark beers, but he's like, that's a great way to go. And then he had, we've still got some of the bone and marrow beer on.
That was
Oh,
quite
really?
good too. I
Yeah.
had that.
I found that interestingly like bacon.
Love it. I
absolutely love
haven't
it.
tried it, so that'll be
You
mine.
need to try it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll try it after weekend.
And he told me that he was like, "Oh, do you want to hear a story about dark beer?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, this is gonna be great." Like an old man. This is like 11:30 in the morning, and this dude's polishing off middies. Like,
I've seen some shit.
yeah. and he's just like, "Oh yeah, no." So like, he was saying like, his great grandfather was Irish and worked for Guinness, and he's like, there was they had the open vats when they originally
open
did
top
Guinness.
vats,
Oh, here we go.
And he, you probably don't know where the story's going. And while doing some renovations on the brewery, there was stuff left on the catwalk, and the guy fell in and died, like drowned
Oh, wow.
And drowned in Guinness.
in Guinness. And so
I told you that shit was thick like syrup.
It
That's
is-
how you get the creamy head.
You can't fucking swim.
It's all those extra proteins broken down in it.
So the owner of the Guinness factory had to go and tell the wife, obviously, because it's like the general writing the letter back, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Imagine that epitaph on your fucking gravestone.
Yeah,
like,
it's
there we
drowned
go.
in
well, he
beer.
said he
An
went.
Irishman, I guarantee you, it's not the first Irishman to drown in beer.
Probably not. Yeah,
You would
and
get
he-
an urn of Guinness.
And he went back and he told the wife, and she was like, "Oh, that's absolutely awful. Like he's like, that's like tragic. Like he drowned in Guinness." And the guy was like, "I don't know how tragic it was. He got out 3 times to take a piss." And I was like, "Fuck you, old man. Like you led me in with a joke. I thought this was a real story."
Yeah, you suck at us in as
Yeah.
well.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
I think we might finish with that, actually.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Thank you very much for having
Yeah,
us, Tom.
thanks,
It's
Tom.
been great to
Oh,
have you on.
anytime, guys.
Yeah.
And
Great.
to Uncle Hops and to Stockade for the amazing beer.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Thanks
we'd
to Anton as
we'd
well, yeah.
love you guys for coming out, and I'll chat to you as well because we'd love to have you come back. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
sweet
we'll
as.
be back again. And this is we were debating on how we were going to do microphones and everything earlier in the day, but this
Now
worked
it
out.
worked
This
out,
worked
yeah.
out
It's
perfectly.
worked
Yeah,
out.
it's just a technical fuck up with the live camera that I've got to sort out now.
Yep.
we'll be all right.
All good.
There.
Excellent.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.
Catch you.
Cheers.
Bye.